Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I'm joined by Trent Hickman, who is the founder and owner of Park City SUP. What's up?
Hi, Caitlin. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing great, thanks.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
so tell me about Park City SUP. When was it founded and what was the inspiration for it?
So let's see, Park City SUP, we've been in business for about 6 years. And originally I was spending half my time in Costa Rica surfing and then coming back to Park City. And I like to say I temporarily have transitioned out of that back and forth lifestyle, hopefully. But someone knew I was a surfer and took me out for a trip on a stand-up paddleboard. Mm-hmm. Sort of the first time I stood on the board, I was like, wow, this is great. This kind of ties me back into the surf and waterman culture. I'm going to do something with this. So I bought a few boards and started doing tours, and then just have built it over the years.
Yeah, there's something about stand-up paddleboarding where it's so much more than just being on a stand-up paddleboard. Like there's this whole experience around it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, stand-up paddleboarding is it's really fun, and it can be different things for different people. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of growth in stand-up paddleboarding. You know, we have stand-up paddle yoga classes where people do yoga on the boards, and those are really popular with a certain demographic. And then we do trips down the Provo and Weber River for the people who want a little bit more action, right? And then you can get out for an early morning cruise on glassy flat water on the Jordanelle, and that's sort of like a nice zen experience. And so it's pretty diverse in what it offers to different personality types.
Yeah, and during the break we were talking a little bit about how Deer Valley is a perfect place to learn, right? Because it's so calm. And can you talk about some of the factors that make it such a great location? Yeah,
so Deer Valley, the water in Lower Deer Valley is really an excellent place to learn. We've been working with Deer Valley Resort for about 4 years now, and we've built a beach up there, so we have a nice sandy access to the water. There's no motorboats. It's a private body of water, so it's got no motorboats, no waves, no currents. So I like to tell people, if you can walk up to the tent, we can get you walking on water.
Really, walking on water. There's something very surreal about being on a paddleboard where you're standing and yet you're surrounded by this water.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. So you said that there were some upcoming events and activities that you guys have going on, one of which is on your shirt, I see. Park City SUP Festival.
The Park City SUP Festival, actually, it happened in June, year 5 of our race that we put on. That was really fun. We had a great turnout. I think you guys have a little clip of that's going right now. It's such a fun event to bring the local paddleboard community together and race and share stories, and we do really fun races. There's a co-ed tandem race, a doggy paddle parade, we have an elite race, we do stand-up paddle surfing behind the boats. We just had a great time. That right there on the screen is Dan Gavir. He's actually a world-renowned stand-up paddleboarder, sort of a specialist in whitewater and river paddling. He also won the elite race at the SUP Festival, but he's coming to town August 7th. We're doing a river clinic on the Provo River, so that's coming up. That's going to be really fun. And then backing up a little, August 4th, we have Dave Kalama coming to town to do a clinic with us. And Dave Kalama is a waterman from Maui. He pioneered tow-in surfing and big wave surfing with Laird Hamilton, and now he's sort of a elite level coach in the stand-up paddle world.
Wow. And where did you first start your stand-up paddleboarding? You said that you started as a surfer and then your friends introduced it to you and you found your passion for it?
Yeah, so Bob and Betsy Reisner took me out for my first stand-up paddleboard experience at the Jordanelle Reservoir. And so when I started Park City SUP, I had the boards, 4 boards, and I was just doing lessons and tours on the Jordanelle Reservoir.
Wow. So if people want to get involved, maybe they've never done it before, how would they start? Where do they go? You know,
I think starting out the water at Pebble Beach in Deer Valley is kind of an excellent place to start out. Like I said, there's no boats, there's no currents, a nice sandy beach access, and so we call that the green run, right?
Okay.
To put it into ski terms, that's the green run. You know, there's the Deer Valley Grocery Cafe right there with nice food, and there's changing facilities in the Plaza building. And so once you've gotten comfortable on that water and you can kind of turn your board and you feel balanced and you're getting some stroke technique dialed in, then it would be appropriate to go out to the Jordanelle Reservoir,
Okay.
which we call the Blue Run, right?
Okay.
Because there's more exposure to wind, it's a bigger body of water, and then there's motorboats which will throw waves, right?
Oh, fun.
And then if you're comfortable there, the next step would be to get out on the river, right?
Okay.
The Weber and Provo rivers are really fun rivers. I think the Provo is a nice river to learn on,
Yeah.
but the river's a little more dynamic, Caitlin. You kind of have to have your skill set in place, and you have to be comfortable with the fact if you fall off in some rapids, you're going to have to ride those out and then
Right.
get back onto your board in moving water. So
Right.
it's a little bit more adventurous. So that's the Black Diamond Run. Yeah.
And at what level rapids, say, if you were to convert it to whitewater rafting, for example, would like a level 5 whitewater rafting be like a level? What is this? Does this question make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And guys, it's just like anything else, right? Guys start out surfing 5-foot waves, and next thing you know, they're surfing 85-foot waves.
Okay.
And it's the same thing in the stand-up paddle world for river paddling. Guys are doing, they're super calm rivers, and then people are doing class 4 rapids.
Wow.
Dan Gavir, who's coming to town. If you just Google his name, you'll see some photos of him charging over literally 30-foot waterfalls
That's crazy.
on his stand-up paddleboard.
It doesn't
Just
seem like it
really
would be
fun.
physically possible.
Yeah, it's just like anything that people do. Someone's going to ramp it up to that next level.
Right.
Like the kids at the terrain park in the wintertime doing 3 backflips with 3 360s.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't seem possible.
No, it sure
Their
is
only
cool.
weakness is kryptonite.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, where can we get involved? Online?
Yeah,
Or
you can check us out
number?
at parkcitysup.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as Park City SUP. Or you could just come on out to the water up in Deer Valley. We're right at the Deer Valley Plaza building. We're there from 10 to 5, 7 days a week. We do board rentals, we do lessons, we sell equipment, and the nice thing about someone looking for equipment who comes to the shop in Deer Valley is you can try out a few different boards on the water and kind
Cool.
of dial in which type of equipment's going to be best for your stand-up
Right.
paddleboarding needs. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today,
Yeah.
Trent. It was so nice
Yeah.
talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we'll get out on the water soon.
Anytime, come on out.
Stay tuned on the Mountain Morning Show. We have a lot coming up next after this commercial break.